Today, I want to share a story that has the power to change the way you look at your own life. It's the story of a young man named Daniel. Daniel wasn't born into wealth. He wasn't born with special connections, expensive education, or a family business waiting for him. He was born into poverty. His parents worked long hours just to keep food on the table. Some nights there wasn't enough food for everyone. Daniel often pretended he wasn't hungry so his younger sister could eat. He grew up in a small apartment in a rough neighborhood where people had stopped believing that dreams could come true. As a child, Daniel noticed something painful. Whenever his classmates talked about vacations, new clothes, or exciting opportunities, he had nothing to contribute. He wore hand-me-down clothes. He walked to school because his family couldn't afford transportation. He watched his parents struggle every single day. One evening, Daniel overheard his father say something that changed his life forever. His father said, "I don't want my children to live the life I've lived." Those words stayed with Daniel. At the age of 14, he got his first job washing dishes at a local restaurant. The work was exhausting. He attended school during the day and worked late into the night. Sometimes he returned home so tired that he fell asleep in his clothes. People around him told him to lower his expectations. They said people from neighborhoods like his never became successful. But Daniel refused to accept that story. Instead of listening to negativity, he began reading books about successful entrepreneurs and investors and leaders. He discovered that many successful people had once faced hardships similar to his own. That realization gave him hope. After graduating from high school, Daniel wanted to attend college. Unfortunately, his family couldn't afford tuition. He worked multiple jobs to save money. During the day, he delivered packages. In the evening, he stocked shelves at a grocery store. On weekends, he cleaned offices. While others spent their free time relaxing, Daniel invested his time in learning. He studied business. He learned about communication, leadership, and personal finance. There were moments when he wanted to quit. Moments when the pressure felt unbearable. Moments when failure seemed inevitable. But every time he thought about giving up, he remembered his parents' sacrifices. He remembered why he started. Years later, Daniel finally earned enough money to enroll in college. He attended classes while continuing to work. His schedule was exhausting. There were days when he survived on only a few hours of sleep, but he had developed something more valuable than money. He had developed discipline. After graduating, Daniel secured an entry-level position at a small company. The salary wasn't impressive. Many people would have been disappointed, but Daniel understood something important. Every opportunity was a chance to learn. He arrived early. He stayed late. He asked questions. He volunteered for difficult assignments. He consistently gave more than what was expected. Eventually, his efforts were noticed. He earned promotions. His responsibilities increased. So did his income. However, Daniel made a decision that separated him from many others. Instead of increasing his lifestyle every time his income increased, he focused on saving and investing. He created a budget. He built an emergency fund. He studied investing principles. He invested consistently and patiently. While others chased short-term pleasure, Daniel focused on long-term freedom. Several years later, Daniel decided to take a risk. He launched a small business. The beginning wasn't glamorous. He worked from a tiny apartment. He handled customer service, marketing, accounting, and operations by himself. There were months when the business generated very little revenue. Friends questioned his decisions. Some people laughed at his ambitions. But Daniel had learned that success often requires enduring periods of uncertainty. He refused to quit. He improved his products. He listened to customer feedback. He continued learning. Slowly, the business began to grow. One customer became 10. 10 became 100. 100 became thousands. Years of persistence finally produced extraordinary results. Daniel became financially successful. He purchased a comfortable home for his parents. He paid off their debts. He ensured that they never had to worry about basic necessities again. But the greatest transformation wasn't financial. The greatest transformation happened within him. The poor boy who once doubted himself had become a confident leader. He discovered that circumstances do not determine destiny. Choices do. You see, Daniel's story isn't really about money. It's about resilience. It's about refusing to let your current situation define your future. It's about understanding that success rarely happens overnight. Behind every achievement are countless unseen sacrifices. Early mornings, late nights, failures, disappointments, and the courage to keep going anyway. Perhaps you're facing challenges right now. Maybe you've experienced rejection. Maybe you've failed before. Maybe people have told you that your dreams are unrealistic. But remember this, your background does not have to become your permanent address. You are capable of growth. You are capable of learning. You are capable of changing your life. The journey from poverty to prosperity begins with a decision to take responsibility, a decision to improve daily, a decision to keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. You don't need to have all the answers today. You simply need the willingness to take the next step. Read one more book, learn one more skill, save one more dollar, make one more attempt. Because small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary outcomes. The road won't always be easy. There will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt. But remember that every successful person has faced obstacles. The difference is that they didn't allow obstacles to stop them. They used them as stepping stones. If Daniel could rise from poverty and create a better future, perhaps you can too. Perhaps the difficult chapter you're living through right now is preparing you for something greater. Never underestimate the power of perseverance. Never underestimate the impact of discipline. And never underestimate your ability to transform your life. Years from now, you'll look back and realize that the moment you refused to give up was the moment everything began to change. So dream boldly, work diligently, learn continuously, save wisely, invest patiently, and most importantly, believe in yourself even when nobody else does. Because your current circumstances are only a chapter in your story. They are not the entire book. The life you desire may require sacrifice. It may require courage. It may require persistence beyond what you thought possible. But it is worth fighting for. One day your story could inspire someone else to keep going. One day your struggles could become someone else's source of hope. And one day you'll realize that the person who transformed your life wasn't luck. It wasn't circumstances, it was you. Thank you.